I think having the same faction for both teams is actually smart on this map. Because this is a map where it's very prone to turn into a 1v1. And it's very easy for the big spoon slot to just eat up the eco from the little spoon slot and convert it into some sort of T3 timing. And then you can use whatever bases or support exists in the smaller slot to make it even easier to do some sort of Titan or Percy or Loya or whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, you can often see one of the players just dying on the side and the exact same thing happening on the other side of the map.
Right, it's what it comes down to. It's Wesh's and Odin's slot has to go gun and a significant unit spam in order to delay as much of the expansion of Rowan and Blodir's slots. And it's basically a race against the doomsday clock, and whoever gets the easier game tends to be the slot that carries the game between Rowan and Blodir. It is interesting that they both actually did go to the same factions. It's just one's Sarah, one's Zuya.
Well, we will see how will it work out for them.
I wonder, because UEF has the cheaper upgrades, and you usually don't have a lot of mass to work with on the side slots, so it's easier to get something like Gun and Nano, and just hope it's enough to do a lot of damage. Sarah, all Sarah could do that's equivalent in that is something, I mean, they can get T2 and Gun, but I never like doing that on this map because of the amount of mass you really have. I'd rather just have more units than put it down some PD, especially since the other slot.
Not to mention it's actually quite easy to just walk around the piece and everything, so it's not the best
Yeah.
idea. You can just go and protect, let's say, one expansion on the left flank, the 4 mexes, but enemy can just go around it and attack you somewhere else. So the PDs are not really useful here.
The other slot like has an easier time kind of, especially since it's Seraphim versus UEF and UEF has AoE, their PD can beat you in the PD war. And you're kind of forced to make T2 arty, which on one slot against 3 slots of eco is not good. Or 2 slots against 3 slots.
I mean, let's be honest, C2RT is just quite awful in general. Costs just so much economy to even make a single one that it often is basically your opponent can simply go just overrun you with the T1 units.
It depends on the scenario.
I have concerns.
I'm thinking, like, imagine a T2 arty position next to one of these 4 pawns in the middle, and you have it kind of on the coast edge. You could hit like 2 bases or something like that, and it forces the enemy to engage in really tough spots.
Yeah,
because it's going to be a real pain to get a good
trade. You
trade.
can actually cover a lot of the terrain around it.
Yeah. And you're basically always perpetually denying these mexes because they'll get tickled to death, and then your unit rally points have to go all the way around it so they don't get like sniped as they're coming out of the factories. It's just a hassle to deal with, especially if you have to micro a lot of bases.
Well, it seems like Mr. Aldin is actually going to get a really nice bomber, already killing 2 of the enemy engineers belonging to Blodir, the ones that were actually expanding toward the east. And it seems he's gonna drop even more bombs, this time going for the engineers in the base of Blodir. And kaboom baby, 3 of them just died to the single bomb. 5 kills on the clock. And even more on the target. Oh well, there goes the bomber.
Blodir is playing it like Badlands, where he walks his ACU directly to the farthest expansion and tries to set up infrastructure there as soon as possible, and then kind of leaves everything in the middle up for later grabs.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea considering just how much more mass is actually available on the side compared to the middle. Especially when you look at the amount of the mass extractors available on the sides. But yeah, so far it actually looks like Mr. Odin is gonna be way slower with moving his own ACU to the north expansion. Meanwhile, Wesh is already securing his own 4 mechs on the south. So I would assume this actually comes down to Odin going for the early T1 bomber. So he had to go and actually put a little bit more infrastructure before he could move his own ACU.
Yep.
And it seems like it's already biting him in the ass, as we can see that he's losing some of the units in the middle because Blodir had a head start.
I don't know. I mean, it's not the worst trade. Like, Blodir kind of got like 2 free tank kills, but
Yep.
if all his tanks are over there, that means they're not doing anything on the top and disrupting Odin's setup over there. The goal of the slot that Blodir is playing is to dislodge Odin from this expansion as soon as possible. And those early tanks, if he can cut off the reinforcements to the ACU, and he sets up the tank factories and NG production in this base with his ACU, and then just walks in, then it kind of just turns into a I forced the ACU back into his base situation.
Yep. And we can actually already see it kind of happening as Mr. Blodir is putting all of his tanks from the middle to where his ACU is. Meaning that soon enough he might be actually walking out from his own base.
How is the... It looks like Wesh is the only one doing fairly decent tree reclaim. If you look at Wesh's base compared to Odin's base, you could see completely different tree reclaim setups.
Yes, it's kind of empty there on the Wesh side. Meanwhile, Odin seems to have actually lost a lot of the tree groups and just basically walked over them. Not to mention, his attack move orders are a little bit strange. He's not abusing the bug reclaim, so...
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Oh well, depends how you look at it, but I agree it's a feature.
And there we go, there's the Blodir gun upgrade. He's probably... If he has any idea, he would want to push as soon as his gun upgrade is done.
Yeah, exactly. You just wanna go and dislodge Putin before he actually gets to occupy his own base. After all, we all know just how hard it is to get rid of that old booger. And there it is, the gun upgrade coming out for Mr. Odin, also known as Putin.
It's actually surprising that Odin got T2 land first. I'm surprised he went such an early T2 land. This isn't a slot that favors
Yeah,
for
you
an
just
early
don't have the
tournament.
economy to actually
Just
go and grab
because...
It's
Yeah, and like he's making Ilshis. By the time the Ilshis come up, Blodir's gun is going to be done.
especially not Serrat's excellence.
Yeah. It's a highly ACU-centric fight situation in this corner, and having the Oshis is not going to really help out too much with that.
Yeah, they're really suffering hard from the enemy Gankums just basically firing overcharge at one another, and well, the moment you lose a single one of them, it's really gonna hurt your pocket. After all, how much do they cost? 360 mass? Or something like that, so that's a lot.
Yeah, it's basically half a gun upgrade. Jeez.
That's a lot of money.
Okay, I guess they finished the gun upgrade at like the exact same time. Oh, and now Rowan has started his. I imagine Wesh will start his gun upgrade once he's finished with that Hydro. Nope, he's
here
actually
comes
gone
the
T2. I really don't like that.
Yes, even more so, because the Rowan can basically just move somewhere along this way near these water pots and just go away. Why would he go and fight against the enemy firebase when he can just basically move around it and go and crash enemy economy somewhere else?
particularly since it's facing UEF and the pillars have, from the main base, only have this little land crevice to get through to help out the ACU. He can walk there, park his ACU there, keep killing the T2, and eventually just build up so many Lobos that doesn't really matter that he has T2 PD.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could even just basically go and leave him alone in his little own world, and go and deal some damage on the other parts of the map. Why
It
don't
actually
you
makes
go-
the Ilshis from Rowan even worth it, really. Because then he's going to be facing T2 PD, and Ilshis aren't bad at killing T2 PD.
Yeah, and there is also actually gonna be a region aura being made by Mr. Rowan. Feeling quite spicy for now.
I believe that's pretty cheap, so it makes sense. I do wonder though, because the thing is, every second does matter if you're doing a gun against the T2, because those 30 seconds he was making region aura could mean he would already be on the ACU by the time the ACU upgrade finishes.
Oh yeah, he wasted
And I
like
don't
a
think-
good 30 seconds here.
Yeah, and I don't think the region aura gives enough value that it makes up for the fact the ACU gets to freely set up at least 1 or 2 PDs because of it.
Yeah, we can already see the first one being erected. So the 40 seconds might have actually cost him the chance to freely run over this position. But on the other hand, Mr. Blodir and Odin are actually going out for the final showdown, as it seems, as Blodir is actually shifting all of his units behind the ACU belonging to Odin.
I don't think that's going to work out because the Ilshis have just come in time. He'll have 2 or 3 Ilshis that can pick up, as long as it keeps them out of ACU range, but this first one walked into it.
Yeah, we can already see Blodir thinking that no, it's not worth it. He's gonna go and fall back with his units for now. Oh, even more so, because there is Ilshi and a few Tams going through the middle of the map, just sneaking through.
I'm not liking that Rowan has literally 0 Zuis in his mix.
Yes.
That's not a Sarah mix.
That's a fake
He's focusing.
terror mix.
It's a poser.
Although it seems like it's gonna be just enough to go and actually dislodge Mr. Wesh. We can see that the T2PT is actually dead. And with
Yeah, he
the-
decided to make gun instead of continue PD.
Yeah. Which is actually a sound choice, but unfortunately, it seems like he's lacking some units to actually protect the ACU.
Yeah. Okay, Bully and Tagada have set up the lobby. Yeah, what do we feel? Do we want to watch this game and kind of do an observer, like +1 of the final? Or +2, something like that?
I don't know.
Or do we want to end this one early? Mr. Farm, you've been kind of quiet lately.
I am losing chess games.
Excellent.
What's up?
Well, the Bully auto Tagada game is set up now, so it's either we can leave this one early, or we can watch the other one in Observer, like +2 or 3 or something like that, and then catch up with the second game.
I mean, the thing is, if you like, they have to wait like 5 minutes anyway, right? For us to finish like the replay. I don't know. Like usually, you'd rather want to watch the final live. But then again, we're already in this game. No, but I guess we can rewatch the first one on plus whatever.
Alright, I'll just tell him to play the first one.
But coming back to the game, it seems like it might actually not go for that much longer, because Mr. Odin is losing a lot of HP against the Odin ACU. And on the other hand, Mr. Wesh is also looking not so great in his own position, because there is a lot of chickens coming his way. Meaning that we may be finally nearing the 1v1 stage of the game, although never mind, Odin actually disengages in the top lane.
Yeah, you can see it's I actually do not like Blodir and Wesh's position here, because Rowan's going to be able to take the Mex expansion now, and you can see it's just going to be, what is it, 6 bases against 4.
Honestly, Just look at the echo scaling for both teams. It's just 200 mass per second for the bottom team for RowanMorse and Mr. Odin, while the top team, Blodir and Wesh, only have 150 when pulled together. So the economy advantage for the bottom team is unfortunately undeniable.
Oh no. Blodir is going T3 and his first units are 20 Perseus.
Oh god.
That's a game loss.
Okay, we're gonna go and watch the other game. I'll say 4 and let's go.
Oh, yep, it looks like Wesh is trying to go in for a suicide here.
Oh yeah, he's actually
not
dead already, I think so.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to
No,
manage.
he's not, no. He's gonna fall back and it seems like Rowan is not interested in training 1-for-1.
He's all like 10 points away from a veterancy. I would have actually charged in with my ACU because I was so close to a veterancy right there. I think he could have tanked the damage and gotten the kill on the ACU.
Quite
But
possible.
it does trade off because that would mean Blodir has more eco to put into his T3 rush that he's operating on right now.
Yeah, not to mention, if the ACU explodes, he's also gonna lose quite a lot of Ilshis. Now he's currently fielding here, and which are actually doing a really good job at finishing off the enemy pillars.
Why is Wesh still alive, by the way?
What do you mean?
Well, Rowan just retreated with his gun issue from the... Wesh just fed it, but he was like on 3k HP.
I think he was worried because he saw like 3 parashields and 10 pillars come in.
But he had like 10 Ilshis.
Yeah, I know. It is what it is.
Also, I just realized chat region fields, region are pretty good.
Like the situation on top is pretty much exactly what Odin could hope for in a best case scenario. He's forced Blodir to do a PD base all the way at his mexes and the MML creep. Makes him as relevant as possible to the game state. I mean, Wesh is kind of in a tough spot as it is. Like he's out of reclaim.
Wesh should die here.
Yeah,
he has no economy or anything at all, to be honest. He's only on 40 mass per second, compared to Putin, who's actually on 60. Not to mention, RowanMorse already putting in 200 mass per tick. Meanwhile, Blodir with his T3 rush only on 112. So,
like especially with the rush and him going Perseus, like by the time that Percy gets anywhere, the rush from not just the standard T3 from Rowan is going to be done.
Yeah, and
Odin's
actually,
going T3
Odin
now.
just managed to get not only the T2 upgrade on his ACU, he's also nearly done with the nano repair, meaning it's gonna be even harder to just dislodge his ACU.
Yep. Pretty much he's going to need like 3 Perseus just to deal with his ACU now.
Yeah, Rowan is really playing way too safe with his ACU and army there.
Yeah, I don't know, like he knows the ACU is to the right. And the pillars are coming in from the left. He didn't have to retreat his Ilshis. He could have just kept him right next to his ACU. He didn't have to worry about an OC on them.
I mean, even when you look at the amount of units, there is 17 pillars versus 16 chickens, and chickens are just gonna mow down the floor with the pillars.
Yeah, chicken's worth like 2 pillars.
Oh, he even let Wesh actually get the T2 PDs up and running, so yep. Not enough testosterone in that guy. Or however
You're
the hell
making
you call it
snipers.
in English.
Testosterone.
Yep. Meanwhile, Blodir is just still standing, not doing anything, waiting for his Percivals to arrive.
He's going shield.
Well, it might help out a lot, but to use it, you would have to actually move out of your own base.
Man.
Okay, it seems like RowanMorse is finally growing some balls, as he's pushing in with his little chickens and ACU, and making sure that Wesh is most likely gonna be dead in a few next seconds. There is just way too much firepower in the army belonging to Rowan. As such, Wesh is gonna be out in a few more seconds. We can see the chicken slowly but surely walking in, firing away at the ACU and other units in its vicinity. Although I have no clue why he's not... Oh god, he's gonna lose so many chickens due to the ACU exploding.
Yeah, he's like really being risky because he could
Yeah. Well, not that, but wait, they lived on like... Oh, they lived the explosion because of the region aura!
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Wow!
He knew
It
it all
barely
along.
saves them.
He's debating us just like that. Although it still looks like he lost half of the other chickens which were damaged.
Yeah, but still, it's region aura just saved like 8 Ilshis.
Ah, even
It's so
more.
worth it.
And on the other hand, it seems like Mr. Blodir is also having a little bit of a trouble dealing with the enemy Ilshavos.
Issue is
I
that
think he's fine. He has shield.
Odin doesn't have enough arties in his mix. He has a lot of Ilshis, and versus a UAF gun issue, that's not super useful.
The problem is that these are the 2 Percies that he made like 2.5 minutes ago.
Yeah, and the
Oh,
AC,
and, like-
the nano okay, never mind. It seems like even
Oh,
the nano
there-
upgrade is not gonna be too much, as the Percivals are actually just chewing through the HP just fine.
Well, he
Yeah.
should have been able to kill this 1 Percy, but he doesn't have the proper amount of E storages.
Yeah. This one does die pretty early. It is a bit risky for Odin to engage here, because you know that Rowan already won his side, so it's just a matter of time. So... But I guess he will clear up this fight anyway.
Not only that, but he has snipers, and as long as he doesn't, if he doesn't donate the mass, builds up a nice ball of snipers, Percy's, a shield ACU, both die to snipers.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, Blodir just lost all of his army and the snipers are coming, so this is gonna actually get quite hard for Blodir to go and push in.
Yeah, it looks like Blodir went and sent most of his reinforcements to the left. And now he's going Titans.
Yeah, to
Listen,
be honest,
by
I
the
feel...
time the Titans are at the front, then they will arrive at the same time as the Percys.
Yeah, not to mention, just look at the amount of snipers being fielded by Rowan that are already on the field, so yeah. This is gonna get quite dicey for Blodir, even more so when we look at the mass income. And we can see that Blodir is barely hanging here. He's 30 mass behind RowanMorse, and that is not counting the Odin on the other flank, which is also sporting 100 mass per second, meaning that the bottom team have over 100 more mass per second, and that is a lot.
The amount of PDs Blodir has made in middle, holy cow.
Oh well, he doesn't care, he plays UEF, and no matter what you say, he's not gonna listen to you. UEF is
The
a title
defensive faction.
Exactly. He knows better than you. Let's be honest, he's higher rated than you, right? 2.5k versus what, 1.8? You have no chance against the guy.
Good thing he unranked these games.
Man. These, yeah, like the snipers have completely lowered all the shields now, and now the Percy's just gonna take free damage. This will be the penultimate game to show why you don't make Percy's.
Yeah, we can see them slowly but surely marching forward. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're getting that much closer to the enemy snipers.
Oh yeah, they're Percys.
They're
know,
just tin
edge.
cans.
Oh no, they're reinforced tin cans, but that's about it. Snipers are hard to counter Percys, so...
I mean, at the very least, they look quite menacing.
And it's even the Sarah snipers that do less damage as they move.
Oh, never mind, the Percivals... Oh no. The moment the Percivals were actually catching up to the enemy snipers, Blodir is like, no, this is not gonna work out, and he's just moving all of his Percivals back.
They weren't catching up at all, because the snipers are faster than the Percys, so they can just run away. It's just, this attack was never gonna work. Like only if you actually like have tons of fodder to soak up damage from the sniper bots and shielding, then it might actually, you know, be able to overwhelm the sniper bots. They have to retreat that far while you kill all the eco, but that's why you also want to have at least Titans and lots of Tech 1 RTs and more shields in the mix, and not just majority Percies and some critters like this. It's Rowan is actually, you know, he kind of was sending in Ilshis to kind of stop it. Percy's hard counter Ilshis, so he should just keep everything outside range, except like slowly whittle down with snipers. Like if you go for this many snipers, you should commit actually higher on the snipers.
Yeah, he kind of stopped. I just realized he stopped making them after he made his first 5. I was like, why isn't the snowball going farther?
Like the funny thing is, this fight so far has actually been equal, if not less efficient for Blodir, just because so many Ushis are just dying to the Percies, which is should be.
Well, it is in his area, which makes.
Oh yeah, he should get to reclaim. That's
it's just another reason why Percies are not great against snipers. They force you to fight in the enemy terrain.
Yes, even Rowan is saying mass in the chat, fully aware that this big reclaim pile is actually gonna belong to him.
Look at the demolishers coming in.
Ah, finally,
That
on time.
It does make me realize that Rowan has not made a single Sarah T2 T3 shield. I think.
Oh, that's so. Look at these snipers; they all have 2K mass skills. I mean, the thing is, of course, as Seraphim, you just make some Notas to snipe down the RTs, but you know, he does have to realize that they're there, because if he overextends his sniper bolts, then they do die instantly almost.
Yeah, Blodir is trying to go and fight against the sniper with the T3 demolishers, but
The
unfortunately
demolishers
it's not
died to
working.
2 phobos.
Oh yeah, they died on the left side, yeah. But they're
Yeah,
also trying
this
to
is
go and do that on
reckless.
the right flank, but unfortunately it's not working out.
If you put his ace to you with the snipers, I think they could survive a T3 arty shot.
Oh yeah,
I
because
think I
of
might
the region
still
aura.
do that. Yeah. I don't know how much damage one demolisher shell does.
I think it's 750.
They have 770 HP.
I know,
Oh,
it's
they
only
use
a
it
big
at
vet.
Is a vet, never mind.
Still, just get the double region aura and call it a day, to be honest. At that point, your sniper bots are never gonna die. Even more so if you were to actually go and use some shields together with them, which you should be doing as a Seraphim player, but Rowan
That
has
one's
different
eco
idea.
is sick.
Oh yes, 500 mass per second. That is nearly double of what Blodir have. Or
Oh,
actually,
he's
he
up to like 10 mexes on Blodir.
yeah, but if you actually account for the mass that Odin have, this is double the income of Blodir. They can basically just go and rush Ahwasa or something else and just call it a day.
That's
Yeah.
what they're doing, Rowan. Just finish the chicken.
Yep, it's walking out of the base. Slowly but surely.
Yeah,
But
and
honestly, I would prefer to get some kind of Ahwasa.
I mean, boats just win the game. Only reason why you should be able to make an Awasa is because it hasn't been nerfed yet, Kappa. Eco's wise.
Yeah, they survived. The 800 HP one had like 80 HP, I think, or something like that.
Oh, I see, okay. Yo, they are kind of charging in on their own.
That's the scout force.
Yeah, but this chicken, honestly, I don't think he should push north. I think he should just pressure the left base with it. Because that's where his entire army is, and chicken needs support units with it. The more support units, the stronger chicken is, and on its own, it's gonna be very weak.
I hope this strat isn't gonna fly right over the two T3 MAA. Oh, there it goes.
Nice, right?
No, his. Does he have the radar coverage for it? Yes.
He just gives no fucks with the strat.
How that? I think that third Cougar shot just completely whiffed.
Yeah, sometimes they do that.
Well, the ASF are coming out to go and clean up the mess after the interceptors. As the Strat Bomber is actually gonna go and manage to go and drop a second bomb, but it seems like the single parashield is gonna be enough to protect the Tifi pigeons. And there is a Hwasa coming out for Rowan. Yep, Blodir says GG, well played, as he just exits the game with a Control K.
This, but this BM on this map!
Ban him.